If you do not know who Bobbi Althoff is, you are probably living under a rock. But that's okay, let's catch you up to speed. Bobbi Althoff has been on social media for many years, where she would showcase and post awkward motherhood-related content on her TikTok. And doing this, she managed to get 3.4 million followers. After that, Bobbi dreamed of starting her own podcast and swiftly started. She took podcasting on just very recently and has managed to get celebrities like Drake, Funny Marco, Lil Yachty, Mark Cuban, and the list goes on. On these interviews, she still keeps up this awkward vibe she used on her content for years with the stars, which makes the interview even more funny and interesting to watch as a viewer. The question is, how on earth was she able to get these huge stars so quick into her career? Let's talk about it. Hi girls, welcome to the Becoming That Girl Era channel. I hope you learn a few things and take it with you in your daily life. Make sure to subscribe and put your notifications on so you are aware when I upload a brand new video. Bobbi Althoff is 26 years old and also a mother of two. As you may know, it can be very tricky to properly start up a successful podcast, especially if you're new to the game and don't have the proper connections to get you there. However, Bobbi seems to have it quite easy, it looks like. She had a dream of running her own podcast and didn't let these obvious factors stop her from chasing her dream. She stated in the BFF's podcast a week ago that her success thus far has been based on luck. When she first started her podcast, she had no way of contacting anyone, and a lot of people she would contact weren't really interested at the time. Joke's on them because now Bobbi is up and will most likely be very strict with who she lets on her podcast now. How it all really started for her, she claims a follower of hers brought her attention to Funny Marco, who, if you don't know, makes fairly similar style videos to Bobbi. And she did what most people would never do because they're afraid. She shot her shot. She posted a story asking to do an interview with him, and Funny Marco replied in no time and was down to come on her podcast. If there is one thing you should take away from Bobbi and her sudden rise to fame, it's to shoot your shot. You'll really never get anywhere if you're sitting around waiting for opportunities to fall on your lap. If you really want it, put yourself out there, for real. Needless to say, her interview with Funny Marco was a success and went viral. If you know Bobbi Althoff today, then you know that that was the very interview that set things off for her, because the Drake saw that interview, thought it was hilarious, and followed her. Bobbi was stunned and decided to shoot her shot the same way with Drake, and best believe he replied and was super down to do an episode with her. Bobbi does it again, and she keeps doing it. Her interview episode with Drake did crazy numbers. The episode, of course, was very awkward, but also super hilarious, as you obviously see how different the two are, which makes the interview even more funny. Bobbi is definitely one in a million when it comes to the opportunities she's receiving. She is most definitely what most of us would call lucky. But it is also super important that we acknowledge the efforts and hard work she puts into creating such a powerful podcast. From her great marketing to the unique style of her interviews. It takes just simply believing in yourself, and that's what the majority of you watching lack. Bobbi has been very open about her struggles with social anxiety, and I think the majority of us can relate to wanting to do things but fears in general holding us back. Being socially awkward is a very prominent one in society, and I've definitely had times where that fear has held me back, and I know majority of you can relate. However, where I think Bobbi is different is that she used her biggest fear, social anxiety, and took control of it, allowing her to create the biggest podcast in the world, where she takes full hold of her awkwardness and uses it for her advantage. There have been so many conspiracy theories about Bobbi and how she got to where she is, and so many claims online saying she's an industry plant due to how fast she came up. What do you think is the real and authentic reason for her sudden rise? However, if you truly listen and watch her interview on the BFFs podcast, you'll truly be able to see that the way things came about for her was all but simple luck, and all so surprising for her as it is for us. Bobbi is on the rise to becoming even more successful than she currently is, and honestly, I'm here for it. People have also spotted similarities with Amelia from the Chicken Shop Date, who does similar style interviews in the UK. Do you think there's similarities there, and which of the two do you think is doing it better? You guys know that I never make a video without giving you notes on how you can become that girl and elevate yourself. So please get your pen and paper ready to get exclusive advice. Here goes my first note, and that is, if there is anything Bobbi has taught anyone, it's to never let your fears hold you back from what you can accomplish. Do not let your fears define you. Social anxiety is something she struggles with, and she's been very transparent to the world about it. But I'm so glad that it didn't stop her, and I hope this is a sign to you to not let it stop you too. The second note today is to learn how to shoot your shot. When you want something, do not hold back from chasing it or putting yourself out there. If you believe in yourself, it's important to take the time to invest in your craft and pitch yourself to others that may believe in you too. My third note is to go with the flow. It is human nature to want to be in control and have everything figured out, but sometimes things come for you when you're least expecting it. Of course, plan out your goals and visualize it, but also remember that it is okay to take a break and go along with things one step at a time. Bobbi has stated numerous times that that's what she's doing, and we're seeing that work out great for her. Okay, and my fourth and final note is to always remain humble. If Bobbi is anything, it is humble. In order to get far, not just in life, but with your personal relationships and friendships, it is very important to learn how to be humble. That is all the notes for today, period. I definitely see Bobbi doing bigger and better things as her career advances. She seems to have the right team of people around her, so I wish her all the best. She is truly that girl. That concludes this video. Thank you for listening. I hope this helped you in any way. Becoming that girl is a journey, so I will continue to make videos like this to guide you through, so you can become the ideal version of yourself. Make sure to subscribe and join this community.